some days you gotta give. This is some days you gotta take. That's the way it's gotta be. Roll it over and you will see. The city streets are full of people going nowhere, making time. The change from night to day is really only out to just a longer line. Can't you see the sign? When I looked around, I was heading down. Won't somebody throw me down the line?
Oh, happy Tuesday. 9:06 is the time on the second day of December. Daily show. Hitting you in the nose. We got a busy one for you today. Coming up in just a couple of minutes' time, we're going to be talking to the overnight warming locations. Martha Pfister and Isaac Sandage will be joining us and filling us in on their mission and just the need right now as the weather is really just putting us through the ringer here with those cold temperatures. We'll get all the details. At 10:10, Keith Short and Associates will be joining us for our legal education series, this time discussing car accidents and really breaking down what to do immediately after a collision and so much more. At 10:35 today, our conversation with the North Alton Godfrey Business Council. We'll be talking with Jen Farley from Persnickety, and we'll also be talking to Rachel Craddock from the Riverbend Family Ministries and getting the latest from them as they're members of the North Alton Godfrey Business Council. Really excited for all the conversations on the show today. But in the meantime, let's dive into top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update, or you can download the RiverBender.com app today. Numerous school districts across the region have announced closings or shifts for virtual learning today, for December the 2nd due to that inclement weather or other concerns. Districts such as Calhoun, Collinsville, Edwardsville, and others, including Father McGivney and Marquette Catholic, are implementing e-learning or virtual learning for the day. Several other schools like East Alton Woods River, Roxana, Troy are closed entirely. Additionally, Scott Air Force Base has delayed its start until 10 a.m. Residents are encouraged to report any closures to the provided contacts to keep the community informed. You can do that at the closures section at RiverBender.com. Early Monday morning, firefighters in Alton responded to a devastating house fire on Rickson Street where a man and his dog were found deceased. The blaze erupted at 2:30 a.m., quickly engulfing the single-story home. Despite freezing temperatures in the 20 degrees, crews battled the fire for nearly 3 hours before it was contained. Alton Fire Department Battalion Chief Derek Richardson praised the firefighters' dedication during the challenging weather conditions, and authorities, including the State Fire Marshal and Madison County Coroner, are investigating the cause of the fire. The identity of the deceased has not been released, and the investigation remains ongoing. Mark Reynolds, 37, of Alton, has been charged with aggravated robbery and resisting a peace officer in the connection of a November 28th robbery at a Walgreens store on Washington Avenue in Alton. Reynolds was apprehended on November the 29th after deputies from the Madison County Sheriff's Office located his vehicle. The Alton police established probable cause for his arrest. Police Chief Jarrett Ford praised the swift resolution, attributing it to strong collaboration between local law enforcement agencies. Alton Police Department also acknowledged the support from the Madison County State's Attorney's Office. We'll keep you updated if more details on that case emerge. Shelley Woolner, the Vice President of the Illinois School Nutrition Association and Food Service Director at Bunker Hill Community Unit School District No. 8, is actively advocating for federally funded free breakfast and lunches for Illinois students. She's met with local politicians and traveled to Washington to seek $67 million in funding to implement the Healthy School Meals for All bill signed by Governor Pritzker in August to address that shortfall. In August of 2023 was when that bill was signed. Woolner stresses that feeding children at school should be a basic right, highlighting that it would cost taxpayers just 10 cents a day. Despite Bipartisan support funding is yet to be secured, prompting her continued efforts to push elected officials to prioritize the essential need. Finally, in the news today, Alton School District 11 representatives assessed local streets this morning before deciding not to close school or go to e-learning, but to proceed with a regular school operations day for Tuesday, December the 2nd. Officials advised parents to monitor the My Ride app for bus schedule updates, noting that drivers will exercise caution on the side roads. Students' absences will be excused if families determine it unsafe to transport children to school. That's a good note. Parents were also urged to remind students who walk or ride the bus to stay on sidewalks for their safety. The district thanked the community for their patience during the morning assessment and encouraged everyone to have a safe day. You can see a full write-up at RiverBender.com /news. At 9:12, let's take a look at weather. It's 22 degrees and it feels like 27 degrees out there. Today, quite cold with sun and clouds. There will be slippery conditions with the morning commute. And tonight, it will turn cloudy and it will stay cold. Air quality at 43, which is overall good. Tuesday's temperatures stay right around the mid-20s. 28 degrees is what it'll reach up to today and drop down to 18 overnight as we head into Wednesday. On Wednesday, a high of 38, but it will drop nearly 30 degrees as we head into Wednesday night, a low of 9. On Thursday, a high of 20, a low of 6 degrees, and on Friday, a high of 35, a low of 24. On Saturday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 35, and a low of 26 degrees. I know that some are calling for a chance of flurries on Friday now. They did have snow predicted at first, but that keeps bouncing back and forth. That's a wait and see until we get closer to Friday. That's a look at your next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 22 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 27 out there. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by downloading the RiverBender.com app today. Hey, while I have you, wanted to fill you in on a great partner for the show as we head into 2026. And, you know, it's a really great time to mention Ameren. They're working hard, and especially their linemen. Whenever you see all that ice coming in and that sleet and all the things they do to the power system, those linemen are out there working around the clock. You know, Ameren's hard at work at putting energy to work for us, and that's so important. They're adding underground cables, they're installing advanced switches and sensors, they're even installing storm hardening power poles. That's important too. And rolling out mobile command centers. This is to respond to storms faster and to restore power quicker. You can learn more about projects in our area at Ameren.com/energyfuture. That's Ameren.com/energyfuture. You can also stay up to date with Ameren when they join us on our show and they give us their insights, including tomorrow when they come in and fill us in on the latest with the latest upgrades to Alton's infrastructure. Ameren.com/energyfuture. And we'll take a quick break and come back with more Daily Show right after this on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. Now a quick look at downtown.
Was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with roll.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
All life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
And that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. We're simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Welcome back, Daily Show. Man, I thought I had more song bed than that. I was dying on the vine there, so I figured let's just go ahead and come back. I didn't even get the lower third set. Alrighty, welcome in. Overnight warming location. That was kind of dry. I don't like coming in without music, you know?
It's okay. Next time.
Isaac, you're looking like I let you down here.
Yeah, I was really hoping to jam in if we need to.
Well, I'm glad to have you both in the studio today. And no better time to talk about the owl, seriously, than right now because of the way that the weather's been lately. And you guys' efforts are, really just needed, especially at this time of the year. And I'm sure right off the bat to activate and then to stay active for a few days is, really made some volunteers tired, to say the least. Where should we start today?
Well, we chose to come on today because it's Giving Tuesday, so it's global giving movement on the day after the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So it did kind of work out well that I think it's on our minds that it's cold out. It's hard for everyone, let alone if you don't have a place to stay and be safe. So so I'm do development and fundraising for the Owls, and Isaac has been a volunteer with the Owls from the very beginning and is a site lead for Alton, so he knows all the ins and outs and can talk about what actually happens at the Owl, as well as why supporting the Owl through volunteering and advocacy and fundraising is really important.
So the audience is going to find out today, too, that I'm going to learn twice that it's Giving Tuesday, because at 8:30 I had to tape an interview, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's because Thanksgiving came so late, this year.
Yes, I know. It feels like it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, you're right, though, Martha. You guys do such great work at the Owl. Everyone does, and it's a huge effort. And I was just actually talking to Dave Berger with Community Christian, and just a little bit of, that work, and Tyler, and all the work that he does. But really, from a team approach to grow it the way that the Owl's grown to multiple locations, it's a great thing, but also a somber thing because it showcases that immense need for having, operations really just throughout the Metro East. Yeah. Well, and, how can we help? Let's start with that, because Giving Tuesday, I know that is the big day, but throughout the winter months and throughout the year, we can help support, too, in various fundraising opportunities and also through various volunteerism opportunities, too.
Yeah, it's great. One of the things I think that we always in dire need of is just more volunteers. Yeah. If having a large number of folks available and ready to come in when we activate, because as you just mentioned, like we're now going into, I think, our 4th activation, and we've got 2 or 3 more coming up. People are already starting to get tired, and so having a fresh bodies there. But again, just like I know it's Giving Tuesday, and I hate always doing that, like you give us money, but if folks aren't willing to or aren't able to volunteer, we can always use donations, because we need things like sidewalk salt, bottled water, snacks, just to get us through that night, because it's a long, cold night, and sometimes just having something to munch on can be really helpful.
Well, and too, I mean, that's a really good point, because while everyone else is, staying inside and doing, what they can and staying off the roads, your volunteers and everyone else is trying to get to the warming locations to make sure that service is still provided for. And I'm sure, all the help with salt and food and things like that go a long way.
Yeah, when we activate each night, it's not just about like we show up and we just jump in. Like it's usually a full day leading up process. We're checking our volunteers. We're making sure like sidewalks are shoveled. We're even offering sometimes to like plow out our volunteers so they can get in. Sometimes we've had folks go out and just like shovel driveways so people can get there. And so it's a long and tedious process that usually starts about 8 a.m. the day before.
And so I'm assuming tonight you will be operating?
Yep, we are looking to act. Well, we haven't officially made the announcement yet to about noon, but looking at the weather, we're going to be open tonight, probably tomorrow, probably even the next day, because once we get that below 20 degrees or 20 degrees or below, we're on the phone, we're getting ready and gearing up for that night.
And then, just for folks too, if someone's power goes out even, or, if it's a situation like that, is the OWL a good opportunity for them as well?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just for folks that are experiencing homelessness.
And I think that's neighbors. A good note to make too.
Yeah, it's for anybody that's experiencing heat insufficiencies. So whether your power's out, whether it's not functioning enough, come in. We've got a place to sleep. We've got food. We'll feed you. We have community. It's not just come in and sleep. We spend time with you. We get to know you. We build that community around our neighbors, no matter who they are.
It's so important. Well, and I think it's just a really great thing to know, too, that on Sunday, December 7th is Paint for a Cause, and this can benefit the OWL.
Yes. There's a lot of things coming up. We have that coming up in Edwardsville. Germania has asked the Owls to be the beneficiary of their Roundup campaign, like all winter. So at all the locations, you've got the opportunity to round up. So we're really grateful for that. Coming up in January, I believe January 16th, Old Bakery Beer Company will be doing a Drink for a Cause night again for the Owls. So there's a lot of businesses and organizations in the area, whether it's Edwardsville, Granite, or Alton, that really support the Owls and help us with not just with the funds that we get that way, but just the advocacy and showing that they really support what the Owls are doing.
1,000%. And, on top of that, too, it is Giving Tuesday. And if I could, are you guys a 501c3?
Yes.
Uncle Sam loves us to love the OWL. And you can do so by going to the Facebook page and clicking on that link. And as you see, it takes you right to getting connected with the overnight warming locations, whether or not you want to do today only for $50, $100, $100,000, or if you want to do monthly. And those monthly donations really go a long way, where if you can, maybe take what you'd spend a week on coffee, which now is probably $100, but no, in all reality, maybe $25, and do that monthly. That goes a heck of a long way for the overnight warming locations, I assume. Yeah,
monthly donations are great. We are kind of starting an initiative calling that our Sustaining Neighbors.
Really
and
cool.
So, I think we all think about when it's cold out right now, we want to give, but planning happens all year round. And so when we have that dependable source of revenue, or just like that, those incoming donations, then we can make those plans, whether it's making plans for trainings, paying utility bills. We have the churches that host the Owls, but that we do contribute to the utilities, because heating those additionally is a big strain. So there's a lot of, it's the snacks and the food, but there's all kinds of ongoing bigger expenses that the OWL is taking on.
I never even thought about that, because you're right, those are big spaces to power on throughout the night and everything else. And Isaac, what are you seeing at the Alton locations, right now, specifically with that being in your wheelhouse? Are you seeing a specific need for something just as we start the season besides the volunteers? Is there a
Yeah, I mean, we were always in need of something. The first night we activated, we have an intake system that we use, and our chargers ran off for the iPads, and so I had to run and scramble to get chargers for iPads so that we could go in. But I mean, things like salt and bottled water. I always come back to that because those go a long way. We will go through cases of bottled water. On a nightly basis. A lot of people want to give like coats and jackets and things, and those are always fantastic, but it's a lot of those perishable items that are really absolutely needed on an ongoing basis to help us sustain through the winter.
Absolutely. And, on top of that, too, what's the best way to reach out to volunteer? I know there was a form at one point in time. Is that still available?
Yes. And we have that right now. We're using a link tree, but I can make sure you have that. There's a different volunteer form for each sites, whether it's Alton, Edwardsville, or Granite City. And so there's a variety of ways to volunteer. We have different shifts. Yes, thank you.
I'm getting good at my job here.
Good job, CJ.
Yes. So you can choose the location that is convenient to you.
There's Alton, Edwardsville, Granite City. And then I like the donate to supplies to each of the locations with Amazon wish list.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people really want to feel connected to what they're giving, so they want to donate a cot or waterproof boots. And so this way people know that they're giving what will actually be used. So I love how when people want to give things, but we want to just make sure that if someone's going to the trouble of purchasing things, spending their money, bringing it to the Owls, we want to make sure that it'll get used. So we just want to make it easy so people know what's actually needed.
Really cool. Well, and I just think it's such a great thing, and to see how it's grown over the years since it's been open. It's got to be really refreshing for all the individuals that have been building it up, and everyone on the team to really see that support coming back to you.
Yeah. We had the very first night we ever opened. I remember we had about 13 people there. Last night we had 42.
Wow.
And almost consistently we're up in those 40s to 50s.
Are you really?
In Alton alone. That's not even counting Granite City in Edwardsville.
Can I ask you what your highest volume location is?
Alton is our highest. We have our highest capacity at Alton, and we also have the highest need in Alton. That's typically where we get the highest numbers on each activation night.
Really, very interesting. You guys had a moment to take a quick break with me?
Yeah.
9:20. Yeah, are we good?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. 9:27, a little bit of change. More Daily Show conversations come your way next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Shepherds brought tidings of the same, how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Star of wonder, star of night, star.
Secrets. When I found the album, I'm like, okay. We're just that was an underrated Christmas album, I thought. Mary Cordes said that yesterday too. I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
The library knows what they're talking about.
I mean, if anybody knows, the library knows.
That's right. You know, back in with overnight warming locations, you guys can reach out, overnightwarminglocations@gmail.com if you need more information or just want to say, how can I write a $40,000 check to keep it going? But in all seriousness, do you know what would be the best monthly gift in the eyes of, I know every gift's great, but is there a dollar amount that says, you know, for this we can take care of, X, Y, and Z? And I only ask that just because it's always a fascinating number.
Yeah, it is. And I should have brought my notes on that because I know I've done that before. So I'm going to think about what I can even, like if it's even the supplies that we provide, if it's $40 or $50, buy some good waterproof boots. I'm trying to think what it costs per night for the owl to be open, and these are all things that I should have had written down.
No, I should have put you on the spot. What about the emergency, like the blankets that I see, like they're not like the aluminum ones? Are those good ones? Like the thermo blankets? Are those good donations?
Yeah, it's going to help because when you think about like, the folks that we serve are carrying everything they own with them, and so being able to pack that down is great. Those big fluffy blankets are they're really warm, but man, those are hard to carry around and get around. So those are always great. The hand warmers are perfect because we buy lots and lots of hand warmers, those little things you stick in your pockets to keep your hands warm.
Well, just things like that. If someone's at the store or on Amazon, get some of those things, or go to the link tree and just fill out and go through the wish list and really help contribute that way. I'm sure the partnerships over the years have really helped too with getting folks that are there that are experiencing homelessness the resources they need to maybe stay warm throughout the day and all of that, because it's great to have it, at night when it gets brutally cold, but sometimes it, barely warms up out there in the middle of the day. So to get those folks to proper locations, I'm sure is important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's one of our greatest resources is our volunteers, because they are connected in all these different ways in our communities. We've got volunteers from Riverbend Family Ministries. We have them from Centerstone, from Chestnut. We have all these folks that are really connected. The Hope Center. That while we're there and we're having those conversations, we can talk about like what are the next steps to getting folks connected to the resources, because it's actually part of our mission as well. It's get inside, get connected, and get well. So.
Really cool. Well, and you guys saw the link tree, and we're going to make sure we link that on an article on RiverBender.com. As of now, what else can we do to help support the owl?
If there's, like we talked about volunteering, we talked about donating, but advocacy is huge. So even following on Facebook, sharing posts, talking to a neighbor, just letting people know what the owl does is really important. I think that it's such our biggest resource. As much as we need funding, people really are our biggest resource, whether it's volunteers or just having people support us. And I think something that's fantastic is I think every time, like I know in January when we had a whole bunch of activations night after night, those are the times where we get so many people asking what's needed. We get restaurants that are just like, they want to, it's so amazing.
That is really cool.
Restaurants want to provide a meal. So the more you can just like get behind the work and help, and patron those businesses that are supporting the owl, we love that as well. I think it's just that community that's built through the volunteers and all the different supporters.
Absolutely. If you guys have the opportunity, become a monthly supporter today, or just reach out and contribute in some way. I just love seeing the way the community grows around it. It's so cool. Like you said, that's really just...
And any amount is... It's like every time I see a donation come in, it doesn't matter how much it is, that I'm just so excited to see that someone else, was inspired to give.
I just think it's a really great thing. And whether or not it's Paint for a Cause, which is coming up in just a few short days, that's December the 7th, 6:30 to 8:30 at Restored Decor in Edwards, correct?
Yes.
Oh, I missed something in an interview. That's why I was making sure. That's Restored Decor in Edwardsville, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And then Giving Tuesday, and stop by Germania.
Yes.
That's right.
There you go. Oh, and Old Bakery coming up soon.
Yeah.
How about that? This is so cool.
Right?
Any final thoughts before I say goodbye for now?
Just, I hope folks are staying warm out there, and think of us on those nights that it's bitter cold out there, because our volunteers are out there braving the elements to making sure that people aren't dying out there on the streets.
Absolutely. Seriously. And to 9:33, we'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. You stay there, and I'll be here in the studio. If my voice does not go today, I'm starting to get nervous. We'll take a quick break and come back with more next.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, Daily Show, 1025. That was a quick transition. I mean, that was under 2 minutes. We got this going. I was backed up like 270 out there for a second there. Sorry, Joe. And
No, it's totally fine.
Well, I keep telling people my schedule is so damn tight. I might get my show's full. It's not the problem. It's just who the hell's coming on because I don't know how to, I guess, type in my notes correctly or look at a calendar right.
Yeah, no worries.
But we got connected from Joanne, and really cool to learn about Thrillsville. And this is in Edwardsville, correct?
Yes, I'm in Edwardsville, Illinois, just up next door to Dewey's Pizza, and then so I'm in between Dewey's and Stagger Inn.
What's the physical on that? Is that Main Street?
Yes, yeah. It's like as soon as you come up Main Street and you turn, it's right before the library.
Well, I was getting a taste of your website. I love this type of stuff. And really, as we head into the holiday season, talk about gifts for dad, really, and gifts for this type of individual, because that's the hardest to shop for.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying here? This is cool.
No, the dads are like, because now the dads are all our age.
Yeah.
So it's like, so now they introduce them to all of the stuff that, that they used to play with. So like Ninja Turtles and He-Man and, Back to the Future, Star Wars. Like, so now they're all getting into that too and showing their kids like what that's like. And it's been really fun watching people come in and showing their kids like what life used to be like for everybody. So,
so how did Thrillsville come all about? How did the physical brick and mortar get developed too?
For the most part, so I've been in marketing and I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing this for like 25 years.
Makes sense because the logo was super cool.
Yeah, so most of the stuff is designed fairly decent, I like to think. And then so I've just been working at agency after agency, and then, there's no loyalty. So you lose a client and they let you go. It's just over and over and over. And it's just like, you know what, maybe I should just try this myself and see how it works out. So that's kind of how it started. And then my neighbor who used to work for a movie theater company for like 20 years, he was a manager there. And he used to keep every poster, every promotional shirt, promotional hat.
Smart guy.
Everything. So,
smart guy.
And they were going to get rid of it all. And I was like, please don't.
No.
So I ended up with a huge collection. So I have over 1,000 movie posters that are all original.
No kidding.
And all these promotional shirts and hats and all sorts of whatever they can promote movies with. So
this is incredible.
So yeah, I had a plethora of that stuff and all my toys that were in my basement, and I started talking to my friends about it, and they started pulling toys out of their basements, and it just kind of got out of control, and now the store is absolutely backed with stuff.
So this is incredible. So there's an eBay component of this too, correct?
Yes, I just started an eBay about a month ago or so.
You have a lot of good reviews so far. You got a lot of traffic already.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm doing my best, trying to do all of it at the same time, trying to circulate, just bouncing back and forth between doing it from the store and everything else that we try to do to promote the store.
So do you have the same items that are maybe on your eBay inside the store too?
No.
Oh, wow. So this is interesting.
I definitely don't want to do that because the problem would be selling something on eBay, and then it disappears, and then you're like, oh. So it's a lot of stuff that doesn't really, because I curate the store I'm so picky about curating the store to be like sectioned with different things so that He-Man's all in one place and Ninja Turtles is all in one place. Back to the Future stuff's all in one place. Like, so there's a lot of little things that are packed in the back of the store that definitely can't fit on the showroom. So those all end up on eBay, and they probably will. There's a lot to put on there, so there's going to be a lot more.
What's the best way to describe the store?
Oh my gosh. It's more of a, I don't know. I like to say that it's an experience. Well, also because I used to be in experiential marketing. So
yeah.
So when you come into the store, I mean, it's, we have like a giant Deadpool that greets you right as you walk in the door. And, it's just very nostalgic as you walk through. The carpeting is very almost arcade looking. And as you go through, there's all sorts of. Is everybody seeing that right now? Oh yeah. So there's a lot of toys, lots of different things.
There's you. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then I even have. So that's our cult movie club that we're trying to start.
No kidding. Sorry.
No. We're partnering with the library, and so we're trying to do it once a month. We've only done 2 of them. So we're partnering with the library next door, and we all just sit in the basement and try to watch a new movie, and we all talk about it. We talk about fun facts about it and just different trivia about it. And yeah, so it's been...
This is cool.
So that's something else that we're trying to start to do. So it's a lot of things trying to start.
Well, and it's just things like, I love like the collections, like you got your Wicked stuff here, you had your Halloween collections, your Back to the Future, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot, I'm sure so much when it comes to different franchises to pick and choose from. Is there ones that you stay away from just because it gets too much?
Well, I've been getting a lot of calls about Pokemon. I don't do Pokemon cards at all.
Good
no
for
Pokemon.
You. Good for you.
Well, I just don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
It's not my realm.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where I know that people are into it and people love it and that's their thing. But I'm going to let, somebody else take care of that.
Now,
that territory.
Do you buy?
I'm trying to not buy as much.
I wanted to add, just because I know that sometimes that can become a rut or you just get inundated with...
It comes and goes. It's one of those things where people, they find stuff in their parents' basements or they find stuff in their own basements and they're like, well, I've just been sitting on this. So, and I'm like... I have so much stuff, which I love, and I love seeing all of it. So if you want to bring more, that's fine. But like, I really can't give a lot because I'm still trying to make it. I've only been open for a year and a half.
Right.
And so, but a lot of people just give me stuff, which is cool because they just want me to succeed, which has been awesome.
Cool.
And it's just been such a big part of the community now. Everybody that comes in is so happy that the store is there because there's nothing like this in Edwardsville or even close to the area.
No,
so,
not at all. Now, what do you have in front of us? What's a Halloween?
This is an original Halloween VHS tape.
Wow.
So I sell a lot of VHS, and I have 2 giant tube televisions that...
What's Blockbuster? No,
there's a lot of people that don't.
I know, that's what I'm getting at.
That's a lot of people. The families... What's another thing? When the families come in and they walk their kids over, it's just so funny to listen to them say...
I haven't seen the back of a VHS in over a decade.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I forgot they used to have run times on here.
That's right.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, how cool is that? What's your Back to the Future?
Oh, this is just another... this is a NECA toy that...
oh, wow. That's
to the Future
really
toy.
Cool.
Yeah, so I have a few of those, and then these are little miniature VHS magnets. And so these are huge sellers. So these are $7.99, and basically, everybody's got. Oh, they're a real magnet. It's not fake.
I thought they were playing cards.
Oh. No,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I have a lot of these, and everybody's got their favorite movie. So I mean, be it Halloween or Christmas with the Cranks. I've heard someone's favorite movie, and I'm like, well, okay, well, people like everything. So.
I would totally not. I don't know. That's a little Ted Bundy-ish.
Yeah,
I would stay away. Ted Bundy. With that being said, I love the action figures. The action figures are cool, but what my point is though is throughout this whole thing is the Small Business Saturday's coming up.
Oh yeah.
And what no better time to really shop for those people in our lives? So there's everyone. And I don't want to say people because everyone really has something they're into.
Oh yeah.
And instead of doing I hate to say traditional, but the last 10 years traditional route of the stereotypical corporate gift, find something that's really kind of personal.
Yeah.
That's just unique and just a cool piece like some of this.
Yeah, and I have something for everybody because I also carry new stuff. So I mean, I carry like those like saint candles. I have stickers and buttons and different little tote bags and other little things. So there's something for everybody. So there's new and used stuff. So there's a lot of obviously with the older families, they come in and they are so nostalgic about getting a lot of these toys. Also, a lot of these toys are way cheaper than anything new anymore, and they last a lot longer. But then there's also just mugs or something that you want for stocking stuffers and stuff like that. So,
do you do vintage toys? What I mean by that is like the tracks and stuff and the cars and.
No. So speaking of, I'm weird about curating things. So I don't do Hot Wheels stuff or those track cars. Those slot cars were awesome though. I do miss those.
Because I need to find a Smash 'em Up Derby set. It's a specific gift. It's a hard find, but I will find it.
No, I do keep my eye out for people. I've been also described as the Needful Things shop. So, I mean, because I get a lot of regulars. They come in and they talk about stuff with me, and then I'm like, well, I found this, and then they come back in and I'm like, hold on, I found something for you. I just have a weird memory about stuff like that with people. So
that's really cool. You got a moment to take a break with me?
Oh, absolutely.
I got to pay a bill. It's 10:35. We're going to come back, talk more things, Thrillsville. And then when we wrap up our show, we're going to do that with the Grandpa Gang. Christmas Wonderland starts on Friday. 4 million lights at Rock Springs Park in Alton. We'll get all the details in. But first we come back with Thrillsville. Then we go to Grandpa Gang. You just got to stay there.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, Daily Show, 1037. Could not hear that. Daily, getting back into, I made myself kind of tongue-tied. Getting back into Joe and Thrillsville, I think it's so cool that, you have all these different things. You get to really explore your own creativity with this business, and not a lot of people get to do that with what they decide to start, and this really gives you the chance to do so. A year and a half in, how are you feeling just for the next couple of years? Is everything looking pretty promising for you?
I mean, obviously in my head, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much on paper that is the same case, but I mean, you just got to keep trucking through, and you rely on a lot of your friends. My friend Anna Pavlik, she helps me with all my social media. My friend Adam Mitchell, he helps me do newsletters, and we do a podcast also. And
really cool.
So we do.
Where can we find your podcast?
We have a YouTube channel. It's everything that I have is under Thrillsville 618.
Oh, cool! Right on.
Because there was a theme park in Kentucky named Thrillsville.
Really?
So I had to make sure I defined it.
Is it still active?
Yes, but we don't want to talk about that.
No.
Anyway, But yeah, so everything, all my handles are Thrillsville618, including the YouTube channel. We do a podcast called Scary But Not That Scary, where me and my buddy Adam, we talk about movies, and we've been recently doing movie reviews like outside in the parking lot for movies that we've just seen, and stuff like that. So it's been really, it's just really, I'm trying to do every single channel of everything to promote this place, and trying to sell out but we just started a Patreon page.
Yeah,
so I mean, we've got like 10 or so people, because there's a lot of people that love supporting the store, and they don't want to come in and buy a sticker and a button and a t-shirt like every other week. So I mean, so now you can sign up to do like $5 a month or $10 a month just to help support the store. It's been awesome.
I truly believe to be successful, you have to have a community.
Oh man,
and just like it's never changed. I mean, back 50 years ago, you still needed a community. It's just now there's a new way of doing it.
Yeah,
and that's truly how. Especially you have the perfect end with this type of content, because there's such a niche for that. Online, and I'm sure you're seeing that too.
Yes, yeah, and well, I mean, to kind of flip that a little bit, it's a lot of, I'm finding, is that so many people that shop online and they become dissatisfied with what they're getting. So when they come to the store, I don't know if that's the right word to say that.
I was just thinking it makes sense.
You come in and these things are tangible. It's right in your hand. So I mean, like, you could buy a Ninja Turtle on eBay, but you have no idea what it's. You hand it and you have it in your hand, and you're like, I need to have this.
You just hit it on the head. This has been my whole argument for a long time. It's the fact that you've already vetted the product.
Mm-hmm.
How many damn times that I don't do the eBay route, but even just whenever you buy a Christmas gift and you roll the dice on Amazon, God forbid, on a drone, and you're like, oh, it's your Black Friday deal, and there's 8,000 reviews that no one actually put on this product, and you get it and you're like, oh dear God, it's the 23rd. I got to go to Walgreens and get an as seen on TV present for little Johnny, because this is crap. It's junk.
That's exactly right.
But you vet your own product, and I think that's the biggest sales point that any business can have that's small, and in terms of retail too.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, I've even heard people like in the store.
There's horror stories.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, also it's getting worse because of AI.
Oh, I bet.
So many.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, so many products that people find online that they're like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen, and then they get it in the mail and they're like, this isn't even close to what it was supposed to be. So a lot of people are getting duped more and more just because the world is somewhat of a terrible place. But
it is. When it's not, you can't trust online.
Right.
And two, why would I trust online shopping, especially when it comes to this type of environment, when you need to really have knowledge on it before you buy. You need to understand it. It's like buying a car. You don't just go buy a damn car because you have the money to buy a car.
That's exactly right.
When it comes to this, you got to know. And that's why I'd much rather go to you or call you. Because what I like about this too, man, is the fact that you aren't saying, well, if I don't have it, ain't nobody going to. It's I'll keep an eye out for it.
100%.
If it does, and I think that's where the community part comes back in, where it's just I'm still going to call Joe regardless.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's the way
what you're building.
Yeah, I try to keep that up as much as possible, and I think that's kind of another selling point of the place, is that I can't help but just talk to every single person as if they were my best friend after I've just met them for 14 seconds. I mean, it's like, so it's like, so everybody, they start to trust me, and then they come in, and there's regulars that come in and they like to chat, and, there's a lot of people that will chat longer than others, but it's like, they still end up coming back, or they tell their friends about it, or they bring their friends in, and it's just constant cycle of spreading the good word. That sounded weird, but what I mean. Yeah.
Hey, everyone, as long as you're following something,
right?
And that's
exactly
my belief.
Right. Well, you're following a good community and a good store that has a lot of cool nerdy things, so it's super fun.
Going into community real quick, because I wanted to talk about this weekend for you. It's a big opportunity for folks to stop in and shop the right way. And honestly, our malls around here suck anyway. Oh my God! And I don't even care anymore. Like I have no sponsors that are in the mall. I guess
Yeah.
I don't really.
Well, there you go.
Any money? It's not like Slackers was gonna spend a dime with me.
I used to work at Slackers.
I'm sorry you did, but I like them. But the problem is though, it's not Joe. It's not Joe's place. And, it's corporate. But the malls are just awful. You go to West County, it's like the products in there are sad. Everything. Black Friday's not fun anymore. It used to be a blood sport. You used to eat at the Thanksgiving table because 5 people wouldn't come home.
Right.
This was goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
And now what I think is cool is you don't have to have blood sports anymore for Black Friday shopping. You can just shop local and still get the same thrills out of it.
Ooh, good tie-in. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And what I mean by that is the fact that you tied in community with doing these stickers from Max Reedy and
Matt Reedy.
Matt Reedy. Sorry, man. And
no, you're fine.
This is going to be on Friday. We can get these, or is it any time?
Yeah, so I'm doing Black Metal Friday again this year. So you'll get 6.66% off of everything in the store, and I just play speed metal all day long. It's great. So I'll be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And so my friend Matt Reedy that I used to work with, he already sells a lot of his artwork at my store, and that's another thing I like to continue to do is keep local people that sell stuff in my store. There's a few different ones, and Matt was gracious enough to actually make little sticker packets for me.
They're cool. I just got one on the string. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and so
these are cool.
I know, he's so talented. He is an amazing artist, and he's like, well, I made all these stickers.
It looks like me at 4 a.m. Used to. Sorry, I gotta put a disclaimer. 4 years ago.
But yeah, so he just comes in, brings me stuff, drops it off, and I'm like, I should probably pay. He's like, oh no, don't worry about it. And I'm like, so I just send him money, Venmo, every once in a while because I can't not pay him. So, but yeah, so $10 or more, you can get a free sticker packet from Matt Reedy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I know. He's a saint. He's awesome.
What are your hours this weekend?
So 10 to 7. Sorry, my normal hours are 10 to 7 Wednesday through Sunday. I'm closed on Monday, Tuesdays. So 10 to 7 on Wednesday, closed on Thanksgiving. And I'll be there for Black Metal Friday for 8 to 8. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. It's insane. I did it last year and I was about to fall asleep every 5 minutes. But then all their other hours are the same. So Small Business Saturday will be 10 to 7 and Sunday 10 to 7. And that's another thing, staying open on Sundays. There's people that shop on Sundays, come to find out. So
yeah.
it's been a weird shift personally, like having my weekends be Mondays and Tuesdays, but like, I like it when people come out and, support the community on Sundays too. So it works out really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah.
We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show comes right around the corner next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, welcome back, Daily Show. On a Tuesday, Keith Short going to join us at 10:10. We are getting ready to roll right into top of the hour news. The time is 10 o'clock in downtown Alton on the second day of December. It's a Tuesday morning. You're watching our Daily Show on RiverBender.com and on Roku TV. Anywhere and everywhere you get this show. Thanks for tuning in. Man, we've had a good year. It's been a great year, and I'm really just looking forward to a really positive 2026. You know, we'll take you to top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. Make sure you download the RiverBender.com app today. Early Monday morning, firefighters in Alton responded to a devastating house fire on Rickson Street where a man and his dog were found deceased. Here's what we know. The blaze erupted around 2:30 a.m., quickly engulfing the single-story home. Despite freezing temperatures in the 20s and crews battling the fire for nearly 3 hours before it was contained, Alton Fire Department Battalion Chief Derek Richardson praised the firefighters' dedication amid challenging weather conditions. Authorities, including the state fire marshal and Madison County coroner, are investigating the cause of the fire. The identity of the deceased has not been released at the time of the posting. Mark Reynolds, 37 years of age, of Alton, has been charged with aggravated robbery and resisting a peace officer in connection with a November 28th robbery at a Walgreens store on Washington Avenue in Alton. Here's what we know. Reynolds was apprehended the following day, November 29th, after deputies from the Madison County Sheriff's Office located his vehicle, with Alton police establishing probable cause for his arrest. Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford praised the swift resolution, attributing it to strong collaboration between local law enforcement agencies. The Alton Police Department also acknowledged the support of the Madison County State's Attorney's Office. We'll keep you updated when more details do emerge. Alton School District Number 11 representatives assessed local streets this morning before deciding to proceed with regular school operations for today, Tuesday, December the 2nd. Officials advised parents to monitor the MyRide app for bus schedule updates, noting that drivers will exercise caution on side roads. Student absences will be excused if families determine it is unsafe to transport children to school. Parents are also urged to remind students who walk or ride the bus to stay on sidewalks for their safety. The district thanked the community for their patience during the morning assessment and encouraged everyone to have a safe day. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend this morning. Let's take a look at weather. It's currently 23 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 26 out there today. Quite cold with sun and clouds, and tonight it turns more cloudy and just keeps staying cold. Temperatures today reach 28 degrees and drop down to 17 overnight as we head into Wednesday. On Wednesday, a high of 39, a low of 12 degrees, but on Thursday we have a really cold day, a high of only 22 and a low of 9. On Friday, the temperatures warm up to 35 degrees for the high, a low of 24 as we head into Saturday. And on Saturday, a high of 38 degrees, a low of 26. And that's a look at your next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 23 in downtown Alton. It feels like 26 for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Hey, while I have you, it's always great to fill you in on our great partners of the show. Keith Short getting ready to join us in a couple of minutes, and it's great to have insights like Keith's on the show, and just like it's great to have insights like OSF Healthcare, and when they provide us with our medical insights. OSF St. Anthony's Health Center has been around for 100 years. Think about that, 100 years. 100 years of administering healthcare and mission right here in our own backyard. And what I think is incredible is that each and every time we talk to OSF, we learn more about their innovation and their approaches to the new way that we receive medicine right here in our own backyard. Remember 20 years ago, you needed an x-ray and you had to drive an hour and a half to, DePaul or Barnes or you name it, and you had to dodge the war zone that 270 was, you don't have to worry about that now. OSF's bringing everything right here into our own backyard. It's not rural healthcare. I mean, it is, but what it is state-of-the-art, and it's really modernized right here for all of us. Their prompt care service is better than anybody else's right there on Godfrey Road. And their primary care, you can't beat it. And what I think is so great is because they keep evolving, because they keep growing, because just this year alone, they received the Magnet with Distinction Award, one of 43 hospitals around the world to receive that. That's huge. All of that under one umbrella with the OSF Healthcare umbrella, their partnerships with SSM and all of the other great resources in St. Louis, but all of it in one network under one umbrella where you aren't looking through and transferring notes over. It's just right there. Find a primary care provider if you need one or if you need to switch through the OSF Healthcare Network. You can learn more at osfhealthcare.org, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. It's 10:05 on this Tuesday morning. Taking a quick break. Keith Short will join us next. A lot to talk about, and I'm really looking forward to it. You stay there, and I'll be here in the studio on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Just see those sleigh bells jingling, ring, tingle, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for
Welcome back, Daily Show, 10:08. I'm early today, but that's okay. Keith Short and Associates. Keith Short in the building. How are you doing today, Keith?
I am very well, except for the cat bill from last night.
Oh, man, that would hurt anybody.
Yeah, in the middle of a snowstorm, we had to take the cat to an emergency vet. So.
Oh, no. It's always during the... it's never when it's 75 and sunny.
And it's never 2 in the afternoon.
It's like midnight.
11 o'clock at night,
yeah. Well, and with that being said, before we start our normal segment, which we're going to talk about car accidents today and the ins and outs, and really just kind of what to do when that situation happens, wanted to ask you right off the bat about this verdict that you recently won. This is a pretty large verdict, $2.5 million.
Well, $2.2 million.
2.2, yeah.
Yeah, it was, we won it in federal court under what's called the Federal Tort Claims Act, and it's now a published decision. It was a 52-page decision from the judge. Wow. And basically, we had to prove that the physician that was working under the umbrella of the federal government was negligent in his response to this woman who was 39 weeks, 4 days pregnant. So she literally is ready to give birth.
Oh, no.
And she goes to an emergency or a women's pavilion and has a history of preeclampsia, and she tells them this doesn't feel right. They draw some urine, and she has what's called 2+ protein in urine, which suggests that she is about to have either preeclamptic or she's going to have some sort of other problems. Her blood pressure is elevated. All these things go on. There's a conversation between the nurse and a doctor, and the doctor's about 3 minutes away by his own admission. And he admits he never asks, well, what did the test results say?
Oh, no.
And he never, he just assumes the nurse is going to tell him everything. And I got him to admit that the nurse actually made the diagnosis, which is really problematic because nurses are not permitted to make a diagnosis. And then the real clicker was they hired an expert who I cross-examined and the judge ultimately determined was not credible. And, the judge said, look, the doctor has a duty to at least ask what were the test results and because I got him to admit, had he been told there's 2+ protein in the urine, this, and this, had he asked the results and been told those, he would have known there's a problem. And it would have taken him 2 to 3 minutes to walk down there. And then I got him to admit that it's more probably true than not that had he done that, the baby would be alive today.
Oh, no.
And instead, they discharged her. She went home. She passed out. Her daughter called 911. They got her to another hospital, and the baby died in the interim.
Well, and we talk about this, multiple times before. No amount of money will ever bring anyone that near satisfaction of being a mother. But, that's the only thing that's unfortunately close enough to that is to make it somewhat right,
Well, yeah, and she has 2 other children, and so she was really prepared for this child. So this money will actually help the other 2 children, and what people don't, and
it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, I actually had a really interesting conversation. My son wrote to me yesterday a message because some lady on Facebook had commented on, all this is about is money and there's no justice. And my son said to me that would have really angered him. And I said, no, it didn't anger me that she said that because I understand her point. Yep. Is like, how is money going to change anything? Well, here's the thing. Money is literally the fuel that drives the world, and it is the thing that changes people's behavior. They don't want to get sued. Yeah. They don't want the reputation, but they don't want to have to pay this large sum. And what we pray is that if the number is significant enough, it will change the way they treat these things. From now on, I assure you, this doctor will never again not ask the test results.
I'm sure.
And the other thing is I said to the lady, I said, I'm always open to suggestions. What else could we do? Because we're not allowed to punish the physician, and we don't want to. We don't want him to not practice. He made this terrible mistake of a little bit of indifference. He's actually a very nice man. And we want him to learn from this and go forward, and we want the family to be compensated. And in today's world, millions of dollars, it's still fantastic amount of money. But when I was a young lawyer, I started at $22,000 a year.
Did you really?
Yeah, and those numbers have all changed. And by the way, the judge fixed that number based upon what other courts have done throughout America.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. So it wasn't based on some random thing. It was this is what the court system through the country had found to be reasonable.
Well, and it's just really important to kind of discuss that because there's a check and balance to everything, and this is the check and balance to making sure that proper health care and proper things are maintained.
Yeah, I'll tell you something I did mention to you before, and I really hope that people listen to this. I found my client's response to the verdict to be really interesting because she was happy but not overjoyed, and she never asked me the number.
What?
No, I had to tell it to her, and she went, okay, that's great. And then I mentioned that the judge there was one area of law we could have theoretically gotten more damages for, and the judge had basically said, I'm not allowed to order this because we have to ask the Illinois Supreme Court what they would do.
Yeah.
And I told my client we could appeal that issue and maybe get more money, and her response was, I don't really want to do that. I'm not really interested in doing that. So the idea that she could have gotten even more money with her not having to do anything, I would do all the work, it just wasn't interesting to her. She wanted this victory, whatever the number was, and that was enough for her. And whatever it was enough. And I found her fascinating because a lot of people would say, okay, go ahead and try. Nah, she wasn't interested in that. She wanted justice, and to her, she got the justice, and that was enough. She still wasn't happy. She was just glad it was over.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting though to know if you don't have a good partner on your legal matters, especially something like that, and you have, I hate to say it, but I'm sure there's instances of a rogue lawyer that goes, oh, you know what, this is what, and not saying they just go ahead and do it, but they really pressure that individual into, going to the next rung. It's really good to have that understanding and that really good transparency and relationship with your clients.
The opposite though is true. The opposite is, and I've seen it many, many, many times where lawyers will sell a case short.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want the money.
Yep.
Instead of really getting to the ultimate responsibility, which is to ensure that there's not only a compensation, but maybe some change that is involved. And that only happens in a courtroom. But, the second interesting thing about this verdict I was mentioning to my wife the other day, this is our second verdict like this in 17 months, I think, or 16 months. And 99% of lawyers never have one.
Yeah.
And but it's all because of this group of people I work with. They're just fantastic.
Well, they're hard workers. I mean, it's a machine.
Yeah, you've talked with a few of them. And they're. The other night I was there at 5:40. I wrote something about it. It's 5:40 in the evening, and 6 of my people are still there. And no one's asked them to stay, but they have things that they want to get done. And the reality is, I think anyone will tell you, they get paid extremely well. And that's the trade-off. I'm going to take care of you, but we got an important job to do.
Well, that's what being a real team is, and I think that's so important, especially when someone's going through this, or maybe they're getting ready to decide, or you never know. You got to have if you have the best secretary in the world and the best, paralegals and you're going to have a really great shot at everything that you're tackling.
Yeah, they are. I rarely ever say someone works for me. They work with me.
Yeah,
they were coworkers.
100%. And we're going to take a quick break with Keith because I just wanted to talk about that verdict real quick. But when we come back, we're going to start our fourth segment on our legal education series. We're talking about car accident cases. This happens all the time, and I mean, I've seen a little bit of some fun on the roads, and Keith, I'm sure that you have had a lot of interesting scenarios yourself. Yeah. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more after this.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do.
Stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nassau on RiverBender.com.
7 packs of smokes, 6 packs of 2, 4, 5. And a beer.
It's the beer that hypnotizes people, right? Welcome back. Daily Show, Keith Short. We're going to start our official segment now. We're talking about car accident cases, but I'm glad to get some insights on that, just to know a little bit more of the back work of what that a case like of that size means and just what that breakdown looks like.
Yeah. You know, what's interesting about that case is that same exact case happens in, say, a state like Texas. It's worth $250,000. Because that's the cap in Texas.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever think that's ever going to become a federal conversation or is it always going to be a state matter on caps?
It should always be a state matter.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's a state issue. But anyway, car accidents.
Yeah, sorry, rabbit hole moment. Let's talk about this. So one time, I'll start it off. I was driving, this was hell, a long time ago, 10 years ago even, and I smacked into this lady's dented minivan right in front of a McDonald's, and I was, getting out of the car, and I was lucky because that individual did not need the police officers around them or to know that they were even driving that vehicle. So they said, go ahead and let's just call this a dented van, and you'll call it a lucky break. And we did. But in car accident cases, they aren't fender benders all the time. They're rough. They could be nasty. They could be pile-ups like you saw on 270 yesterday. What do you guys normally handle when it comes to car accident cases? Is it, as simple as a rear end, neck injury? Or is it more advanced forms?
Yeah, I mean, we've handled those in the past when I was a smaller firm on my own. And we still will. But I'll give you an example. Yesterday we were in Springfield, Illinois, and my a coworker of mine, Andrew, went up to cover a case for me. Now, it's just an interesting situation. We had a client who was hit by a church minivan. That this small church had bought this van to pick up parishioners, older and disabled parishioners, and get them to church. Girl causes an accident, and guess what? They don't have an insurance.
No way.
No, she doesn't.
It's a church.
Yeah, she doesn't have any insurance. And, they're a small church. And I went up there last month or 2 months ago, and I met with them. And the young girl showed up with her father as the pastor, and he's a wonderful, wonderfully nice man. Oh, wow. And I said, look, nobody wants to harm you. Nobody wants to bankrupt you. My client was in this accident. And so I talked to my client about it, and I said, they don't have any insurance. And here's the problem. If you don't have any insurance in a small fender bender accident like that, 99 times out of 100, a lawyer won't touch the case.
I get it.
Yeah, because in the end, this is a business for us, and we have to make money.
Yeah.
But the other thing is this, is you don't want the law to be disproportionately punishing to a defendant. So in this instance, if we had gone, my client was entitled to between, say, $6,000 and $10,000. If we had, which is not a case I would normally ever go anywhere near, but a friend of mine asked me to do this, so I said I would.
Gotcha.
Up in Springfield.
Okay.
So I said to the client, if you got a judgment, and this is a tiny little church that this man is trying to get going. I said, you are going to bankrupt this man or this church. Or they could probably set up a payment plan, but do you really want to do this?
Right.
And she said, no, I don't. I said, I don't either, and I won't do it, so you'd have to have another lawyer. And then I talked to the pastor, and I talked to the daughter. I said, well, fortunately, our client isn't that injured. She's feeling better now. Her own insurance covered the cost of the car repair. Can you get insurance, please?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good start.
There's a
that's
start.
a good start.
And then I said, if you do that, we'll dismiss the case and we'll all go our own way. And he was like, would you really do that? And I said, yeah. I said, I have no interest in harming you. And the result would have been somebody would have had to file bankruptcy over a $6,000 or $10,000 case. No, I'm not doing that to anybody. So it all starts with there's got to be adequate coverage. And if there's not adequate coverage, that was one of the things we were going to talk about. There's a thing called underinsurance, and there's a thing called UIM, which is that's underinsurance, and there's uninsured motorist coverage that you can buy in your own insurance that will protect you from people like this church.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, it's really good to note that there's a human element to everything, and I think so many times, and I'm not saying that, I'm sure it happens. I shouldn't say I'm not. This happens is where you get somebody that maybe is already in a rough place financially, and they get hit, and it might not be the worst thing. You're banged up, a little bit, but it could have been much worse, and then you see an opportunity type of thing. I'm not saying this happened in that case at all. It's just, I'm sure that's something that you have to manage as a lawyer for ethics, not in terms of, what the bar is going to say, but just moral compass, scenarios like this one, where it's like, do I feel really good about going forward with this, which, could be one, but for what cost?
Well, I will tell you that one of the first things we do is, does our radar go off? Is this person who's sitting across me lying to me, exaggerating? And the reality is this will always come out. So for us as lawyers, we don't want that. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of our money. I had a case one time, a young man went to school with one of my kids, and he claimed that he was injured, and he injured his shoulder. And then in his deposition, he had never told us he'd had any shoulder problems. We find out he's had 4 dislocated shoulders, and he lied to us. And so in the middle of the deposition, I got up and walked outside with the other attorney, and I said, look, I'm going to dismiss this lawsuit if you don't seek costs against us or anything like that. And I went back in there, took my client aside, and said, you'll never, ever, ever win this because you lied. And you deserve to lose.
Exactly.
And he went away. And I said, and by the way, I told him, I said, look, you're entitled to go get another lawyer, but that lawyer eventually will call me and say, why did you drop him? Now, I can't say without your permission, but I promise you they're going to know I dropped you for a reason, and they're going to keep at it until they find out. So don't lie.
Yeah.
But
it all comes out.
It does happen. It happens a lot.
And one thing too, I'm sure that, and it goes into the realm, is not just having no insurance. And I'm sure that actually happened the day I was born. My parents got hit by somebody who had no insurance and took off on them. So things like that happen. But underinsured vehicles, like maybe I have a beater that just has general liability, or something happens. What do the underinsured instances look like? Are those even something you touch?
And that's really actually really fascinating. People don't quite realize this. They say, I've got $50,000 of underinsurance. So let's say you hit me and you've got a $25,000 policy.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Okay,
and my policy carries $50,000 of underinsured. So how much more coverage do I have? $50,000? No, $25,000. Because the law says I have to exhaust your policy, which is $25,000, so then I get another $25,000. But I don't get to go to trial over that.
Yeah, okay.
I have to go to arbitration, and that's a completely different scenario. And that's where an arbitration is your lawyer will pick a guy, like I get picked all the time, to be the arbitrator for other plaintiff lawyers. My friend Lanny picks me often. My friend Eric picks me a lot. So the insurance company picks their guy, and then the plaintiff lawyer will pick his guy, and then the two of us pick a third guy that we both kind of trust.
Okay.
And the 3 of us will sit and hear the case. So I get to decide somebody else's case all the time. Yeah.
No kidding.
That's how it works, and there's no jury trials or anything like that.
That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, is there a lot of misconceptions when it comes to car accident payouts and what they look like?
It's funny you say that. I looked it up the other day. I'm going to show you something.
I had to ask, because it's like, what goes into the equation for a car accident claim?
Okay, I'm going to show you. The average personal injury lawsuit is not a car accident. Personal injury lawsuit is worth $26,000.
That's wow.
Yeah, that's the average. $26,000.
Is it worth it? And I hate to say it like that, but I mean,
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, it depends, to a lot of people. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It is. When I was a young lawyer, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it is to them. And, the biggest problem, here's the thing. If I could tell anybody this is the biggest problem, these small car accidents, the $25,000 coverage isn't enough. But here's the thing. Clients will call me and say, well, my car got totaled. Okay. Well, I still owe $10,000 on my car.
Yep.
And they tell me it was only worth $6,000. So they're only giving me $6,000, but I still have to pay this note and I have to get another car. Guess what? There's not much we can do.
And now, is that where we're talking about like a gap insurance? Okay, makes total sense.
Yeah, you buy your own gap insurance, and that'll help cover that difference. And assuming you don't have to get in a fight with them about what the gap is. But a lot of times you see these lawyers, they advertise, we can help you. No, they can't. They're lying to you. They can't help you that, because the bottom line is you had a contract with your insurance company, and your contract said that they will pay you with a fair market value. And the fact that you're underwater on your car doesn't change the fact that they're going to give you fair market value. If that's $6,000 and you still owe $10,000, you're going to owe $4,000 on your car. You're either going to have to roll that into the next car you buy or make payments on that and buy another car.
Yeah.
Now, the only way that we could maybe help you is if somehow when we sue the defendant, we can squeeze out a couple extra $1,000 for this difference. But that's going to be a year down the road. So when they tell you this stuff on, you see these advertisements and, they make it sound like they can do something about that, but that's not true.
Well, and they make it sound like it's going to be done in 2 weeks, and we'll get you ready for Christmas, and that's just not the case. I have a question too.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it comes to the cause of an accident, and I'm sure that this happens quite a bit whenever maybe it's someone that ran a red light or someone was distracted.
Mm-hmm.
How far can you go to find out the distracted situation at hand, if there is one, like texting or even phone activity? Does that, or Apple Watch activity now?
Yeah, we can get all that information. We can actually they ask you in your deposition who your carrier was. They ask you for your phone number. They oftentimes will ask you to sign an authorization so they can get your data.
Okay.
And they can see if the accident happened at this time. And they can find that sometimes on the little box in your car, what time the accident occurred, because bags go off and stuff like that. And then they can compare that to your phone records.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, in a small fender bender, that's not going to happen.
Gotcha.
Because it's going to cost more to find all that data out than it would cost to settle the case.
Right.
But here's the thing they do. It's really fascinating. I tell my clients all the time, they will want to get you to give them specific numbers, the defense will. They'll say, how many feet were you away? Because then they're going to try and look at the time. They're going to look at stopping distance. They're going to say, were you too close? They're going to make it into a math problem. Or how many seconds elapsed from the time you looked up? And the answer it should always be, I don't know, because I wasn't looking at my watch. I don't know. I can only kind of sort of guess, and guesses aren't allowed. So fair estimates are.
I want to go back to the value real quick, just to go into that a little bit more, but just a out there question. What happens if you're the passenger in a vehicle that gets totaled or you get injured? Do you have to have the driver of that vehicle go ahead and pursue that case, or does it become an intricate one because you have two separate injuries?
Yeah, you can actually sue the driver.
Wow.
And you can sue, which we see all the time, because most people understand I'm carrying insurance for a reason.
Right.
You're not going to get money out of me. You're going to get out of the insurance company that I bought this and paid for it.
Yeah.
If I committed malpractice, one time my firm did.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever told you this.
No.
One time sure we did, yeah. And for a lady over in Missouri, and I had a guy who was working with me on a case, and he completely botched something. I was on vacation, I come back and I see the notice, and I go, we got a problem. And I call him up. He's another lawyer in Missouri, and he was co-counsel. And we went over to the lady's house and sat down, and I told her, her name was Linda. I told Linda this is what happened. She starts to cry. Well, I don't want to have to sue you. I said, I have insurance. I said, I think we can get this fixed in the appellate court. But if we can't, I've paid for all this insurance. I don't have any problems with this. And we went to the appellate court, and we won. And we didn't win. I'm going to be honest about it. I hired a really good Missouri appellate lawyer, and he won it for me.
Yeah.
And saved my bacon, basically. I was going to use a different word. But and so I never had that happen. But my point is this. If I hit you with my car, I'd say, well, I pay for a lot of car insurance for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not personal. And anybody who thinks they're not capable of not looking up for a second and rear-ending somebody, everybody's done it.
Yeah.
Everybody, and you know, I love when people say, I never look at my phone in my car. Well, you're a saint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Mother Teresa.
And yeah. You know, I live in the real world, and we're not supposed to do it, and everybody's done it. And when you cause that accident, that's why you carry the insurance.
Well, and so just to clear, so if I'm a passenger and the driver of the vehicle I'm in gets into I could technically sue the driver of the vehicle I'm in.
If they cause the accident, sure.
Wow.
Or if the combination of the two cause the accident.
That's what I was curious. Could they technically sue both?
Sure can.
Very fascinating.
Yeah, and then it's between them to point the finger at each other.
Wow.
But again,
that gets kind of complicated, or it could be.
Here's the thing, though. If you come to my office and you say I was in this car accident, and I say, okay, well, what's wrong with you? And if there's not much wrong with you, I have no interest in your case.
I get you.
Yeah, thank God there's nothing wrong with you. Go on with life.
1,000%.
Yeah, there's no reason to sue anybody over that kind of silliness. You have to have a serious injury. I'm not interested in it.
And that would be, leading to a retirement or, from work and those type of things,
Or-
right? Potentially?
Or real medical care.
Okay.
You got to have like real medical care. I'll give you one of my favorites ones. Years ago, I had to go to trial on this for a guy named Sean, and it's a great case because a horse got on the highway, and Sean's driving home, and there's a horse there, and he swerves to miss the horse because he don't hit a horse, and he rolls his car and he tears up his shoulder. His job is to hang windows in skyscrapers.
That's over.
Well, he got back to it because he was 28, but he ended
good.
up having a major shoulder surgery. Well, so it affected his life. Well, what's interesting was when we were doing the damages, Sean said, if they asked me about playing softball, I still play softball. What should I say? I said, you should say you still play softball. I said, but how is it different? And he goes, well, I'm 28. And he goes, I have to go home now, and I have to ice my shoulder, and I take a bunch of ibuprofen. I still want to play, but I said, well, that's what you say. You say the difference is I'm only 28 years old. Before this accident, I could play 3 games in a weekend with no problem. Now my shoulder has to be iced, and I have to take ibuprofen, and I know that I'm only going to be able to do this a little while longer. Just tell the truth. But that's a case where, people would say, well, goodness gracious, how is anybody responsible because a horse got on the highway? Well, you have to keep your animals contained. And this is not the first time this has happened with these people. I was able to prove it was the third time that their horses got. And what was really interesting was the lady who owned the horses was a sweet appearing older lady, and she took the stand, and she's about 75. So, I can't be hard to her, and she's tiny. And so I was gentle, and then I caught her in a little bit of a not-so-true thing, and another one, and then she got angry and started pointing at me. She did this, Oh, my. And I got to grab a pen. There was a lady in the front row of my jurors, and she's got a yellow pad. She's been making notes. And I catch this lady in such an egregious lie. This lady, you can hear it, clicks her pen, does this, sits it on the bar in front of her, folds her arms and looks at her. So I walked over to Sean, and I grabbed my yellow pad, wrote down, "We just won." And I still have that piece of paper and I got goosebumps over it because it's such a great moment. Because this lady who seemed like just the sweetest she was actually really mean.
Yeah.
And I just, and jurors are just there.
But if you act aggressive to the sweet appearing older lady, you're the jerk.
I'm a jerk anyway, but I really am. I really am. They can see that I am. And no, you just give people a license. Just wait long enough, the truth will come out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what was really beneficial in that, which is very rare, we found a young girl who had worked at that facility a year before, and she'd known this woman since childhood, and she took the stand and said, and cried, but she told the truth. She said, what she's saying isn't true.
Yeah. That's
isn't true. And she looked over, she goes, I'm sorry, but that never happened. I was there, and it never happened. And I felt bad for this girl, but she told the truth. And it's amazing what the truth will do.
Yeah. Well, and, it leads me into the kind of we've been talking for a little bit now, the mistakes that we could make right after an accident.
Yeah.
What's the first mistake?
The absolute first mistake absolutely is not reporting immediately everything that you can about what occurred. I mean, that means going to the doctor and saying this happened and telling them the truth, telling the police officer the truth. If there's a witness there, make sure that you try to get the identification of the witness because that really matters.
Oh, yeah.
But, I'll tell you an interesting thing is it's very, very common for people to say, I'm okay. And they go home that night and their neck bothers them. And they wait a couple of days, then they go to the doctor. So what happens is this is what the insurance company does. If you wait 2 or 3 days, they'll get a doctor who will say, well, if they were really injured, they would have gone right away. If you go right away, they'll find a doctor says, they raced to the emergency room so they could record this all. So the thing is what you do is you just tell the truth. You don't exaggerate it. You do not say your pain is a 10 unless your femur is sticking out of your leg. You just don't.
Yeah.
But the key is this: they will try to give you get a recorded statement out of you as fast as possible because they're going to try to catch you in this. And they have a list of questions they're going to ask you, and they are designed to get you boxed into where you were looking and what you were doing and all those sorts of things. We had a case where a young girl was actually in the emergency room, and the insurance company faxed her a settlement release for $2,000. She thought it was so that she could get medical care, and she signed it to settle her case for $2,000.
Oh no!
With a traumatic head injury, and so I was able to go to court and get the judge. And what was funny is the defense lawyer knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
And he kind of looked at the judge like, yeah, because the judge said, "Are you seriously going to try to enforce this contract?" She had a head injury at the time, which means she couldn't have been
in the right place
to make this kind of commitment. And he says, "Well, all I can say is this is what happened." he didn't want it to happen.
Oh,
so the judge basically said, I'm gonna set aside this settlement. It's not valid, and that $2,000 case settled for $98,000 about 9 months later, because she actually did have a serious head injury.
Before I let you go, this could be a stupid question, but what happens if someone doesn't have insurance? They're driving. They don't make an infraction. Obviously, the infraction is you don't have insurance while you're driving, so that's step one. But let's say a semi-truck or a truck or anything runs a red light and completely negligent hits them. They get hurt seriously. They're in the hospital. Do they still have is there still no legal ground to sue because they don't have insurance?
No, you can sue.
Okay, so I've never understood that. Okay.
Yeah, you can sue in Illinois. Now, there are states like Missouri that will punish you for that.
That's what I was curious about.
And will limit what you can recover. But in Illinois, whether or not you've failed, here's a good example. Let's say that you're going 64 in a 55.
Okay.
And somebody, so you're clearly speeding, and somebody cuts you off and causes an accident. The very fact that you're breaking the law doesn't necessarily mean that you're in any way at fault. Because if you can show that, look, it wouldn't matter if I was doing 55, the outcome would have been exactly the same. There has to be a relationship between your infraction and the ultimate damage. So the fact that I'm not carrying insurance has no bearing on the fact that you harmed me. Now, do I think that's right? No, I kind of see the point Missouri has. Look, why do I'm going to benefit from the fact that you bought insurance.
Yeah.
But had it been reversed, you wouldn't benefit. I understand that. I really do. And so, I can kind of understand why people would say that doesn't seem right. Sure.
It's very fascinating.
Yeah.
Keith, it's always great to have you on the show.
I hope so. You never know. You hope.
This is great, man. I get a lot of insights out of this. It's good stuff. And to me, it's segments like this, you never know until you need to know the information.
Yeah.
And so hopefully if someone's watching today or tomorrow, whenever they do, they remember some of this. And whether it's giving you a call or at least just knowing the proper steps, you're helping somebody.
I will tell you the number one thing I would tell people to do is as soon as possible after the accident is make a log of everything that you can remember about it, because your memories fail over time.
Is a paper log valid, or does it need to be digital so you have the time stamp?
You can write it down.
Okay, really good.
Yeah, you can. I mean, they can challenge when you did it.
Yeah.
But they're never going to go anywhere with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
In fact, I think that may be better sometimes, because if you make a digital log, then they can theoretically get into your computer. Now, it would be prescribed and limited to searches related to that, but still,
Yeah. Good to know. Keith, we're going to talk again at the end of the month, I think, on the 19th. And then really just always great having you on the show. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. You stay there, and we're going to come back with the segment with the North Alton Godfrey Business Council next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
You guys have no idea, I think, what it took to get this. I was like on the Lewis and Clark expedition for a second. I went to the very depths of this building to find a cord, and we got this thing going. We got Jen Farley in the building, and we also have Rachel Craddock from Riverbend Family Ministries, and, of course, Persnickety by Jen Farley. How are we doing today?
Good.
Well, you know, it is a little bit colder out there, and now that at least the snow's starting to let up, we can get our sidewalks cleared off and back to business. Rachel, you guys are a warming center, so you see an uptick, I'm assuming, at this time.
We do, in addition to our normal operating hours, Monday through Thursday. On cold days like this, whenever the temperature drops under 20 degrees, we work hand in hand with the overnight warming centers to make sure folks can come straight to our building or one of the other warming center sites and just stay warm for the day. You know, even just being out there for a few minutes, you feel how dangerously and uncomfortably cold it is. So just for them to have a spot to get a warm meal, just, you know, watch a movie, hang out, and not have to worry about where they're going to go today, just to avoid frostbite and, you know, potentially something even worse.
Well, and I think it's really important because, you know, we have the OWL, which is great for, you know, the overnight hours, but throughout the day it's, you know, still is cold, and to have those opportunities is really good. And now, do you guys perform the washing like the clothes washing services and all that still whenever the warming center's going on?
We do during our normal hours, which is 9 to 1. Beyond that, people can still be in the building and hang out longer than when we're usually open, but we still keep our regular hours Monday through Thursday.
And then whenever you have a day like this where it might be inclement for some people or a later start, because there's so many different spokes on the RFM web, is it just dependent on that specific service if they are going to be active in the office that day?
Correct. Just like yesterday when it started snowing, I had a couple of team members head out early just to, you know, beat the traffic and stay safe. But every agency is a little different. Some operate 24/7, some operate in the evenings, weekends, whatever makes most sense for their clients.
Well, and it's great to have you both in the studio today, and this is our segment on the North Alton Godfrey Business Council Spotlight. And, you know, Jen, this last weekend, just, you know, a snowstorm that we haven't seen in November snow in a long time. I know. And, you know, you adapted on the fly, you know, as best as, you know, you could, and you did the Facebook groups. Fill me in on that. How does that work for maybe the folks that are interested for the next, you know, snowed in opportunity?
Right. No. I had done it on our last snow day that we had in January. Basically, you know, I think everyone's kind of stuck at home. They're staying warm and cozy by the fire. And when I know I do it, I think everyone else does it. You get on your phone, you scroll. So what I try to do on those days is I'll take whatever pictures I have left on my phone, because obviously I'm not in the shop either, and just share the photos. Maybe people see things that they haven't seen before. Maybe they see something that they want to go ahead and purchase, or maybe it just gives them the motivation to come in and look at something closer that they hadn't noticed before or seen when they're in the shop. I have a lot of people that say when they come in the shop, they have to do 2 or 3 loops because, oh, I missed something or I missed that. So it's nice to be able to focus on the products. And when I do that, if you see something that I post that you like, message me and we'll figure out the price or how to get it to you.
Well, and it really is just, in all honesty, the elephant in the room, such a bummer for Small Business Saturday, and really just no better time. Alton Main Street had a thing up about all the online opportunities and even just, all the different retail opportunities within the Alton Main Street district and even throughout the city and the region. Go shop local because it really, that's an important day. And to have that snowed out was tough, I'm sure, for so many people.
It is. And we're very lucky here in Alton, in our downtown district, that we have such a variety of shops.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've got a little something for everybody. We've got vintage, we've got plants, we've got, you name it. It's down there.
Yeah, well, I think it's so cool, though, because you can have a legitimate shopping experience, honestly, like you would in St. Charles, really. And I hate to say that because we don't want to get people that go, oh, we got to go over there. But to come into Alton and have that same opportunity and have great food and have whatever you want to eat, really, and you can even lodge if you want to.
Yeah. There's also, there's rooming opportunities, or BROBs, so many great restaurants, coffee shops. It's really nice. It's like a nice, intimate experience.
Oh, 100%. And it's been a good year for both of you, it seems like, at RFM and both at Persnickety. And, let's dive into RFM a little bit more, too. Rachel, fill me in on the year it's been. How is everything looking for 2026?
Yeah, it really has been quite a year. We announced this year that Tammy, our executive director, announced her retirement. Yeah, so it really feels like the end of an era, but also the exciting chapter ahead. So we are in the process of searching for that new leader to lead us into that new chapter. We've really just grown as an agency as we prepare for that transition. Our team has grown. We've been able to serve more and more and more people. We know the need is there. We know that the community really is counting on us, and we are committed to being here for that next chapter. But we really couldn't do that without the amazing community that continues to surround us. Groups like the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, just having the chance to tell our story, to connect with business leaders, to invite them to our events and spread awareness about the work we're doing really makes all the difference. And days like this is actually Giving Tuesday, so I wanted to shout that out.
That's true.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, so
it's just sneaking up on you.
It is. Everything is. It's just coming so fast.
It's because Thanksgiving was so late.
I think so.
Yeah, everything is
sense.
kind of blurred together this year, and nothing feels like it should be. But Giving Tuesday is an International Day of Giving, so we have so many great nonprofits just right here in the Riverbend community. So there's so many different ways to support a monetary gift, whether it's $5 or $5,000. It truly makes a difference.
$50,000.
I will take it. I'll be happy to take it.
Throw it out there.
You're gonna ask for it all.
Actually,
Yeah.
But Rachel, I wanted to tie something in too, because I don't know if this happens in your storefront at all, and I'm not saying it does, but there's some business owners that I talk to where it's great to know the resources that an RFM can provide, because there are folks that we encounter that are going through hard times and maybe don't know the resources that are available to have those partnerships in the community, or at least be able to direct somebody to where they can stay warm or get help that they need. That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I always try to spread awareness of that, of like, we do have a lot in common. We want to help people. We don't want any of our community members to feel unsafe, or like their businesses are being negatively impacted, or that there's crime, or that things are being trashed. That's never the goal that we're trying to support. We are trying to help people get back on their feet, get to a place of stability so that they can be a productive community member, give back to the community that we all love. And RFM really is a big part of that solution. So the more we can work together and spread awareness that we exist, that we can get people in our building, that we can get them back on our feet, it really does take all of us to lean into that movement and make sure that people have access to those resources so that we can all benefit from that upward mobility.
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, and now with the new executive director, are you guys in the are you have a short list? Are you in the final stages of it, or what's it looking like for that?
We're definitely narrowing it down. It's been quite a journey, especially for someone who's never had a formal job description.
Right.
18 years ago, Tammy,
create the thing.
Tammy put together this really remarkable, one-of-a-kind model, and just to have to put that on paper was quite the experience. To how do you sum up all that Tammy does? But it did kind of help us dream big of what does that next chapter look like? How do we serve even more people? What partners can we continue to bring into our space to better help people? So it's been really exciting to kind of dream big and think, what does that look like? And just also knowing the amazing community of support that we already have in place really fills my heart with hope to know that really anything is possible.
Absolutely. And then before we take a quick break and we talk all things persnickety, wrapping up with RFM, anything that we can contribute to right now? I know you said today's Giving Tuesday. Thanks for reminding me because I am just out in left field today. But is there anything else, ongoing for the holiday season heading into 2026 that we can help support RFM on?
Absolutely. We're gearing up for our large community Christmas event the week before Christmas. We still need a few volunteers. If you head to my-rfm.org, there's a red button right there on our website on the landing page that has volunteer sign-up links. We could also use a few more toys just to supplement our supply to make sure all the parents can come in and shop free of charge, of course, for their kiddos. A donation, again, of any amount helps support those efforts and just all of our year-end efforts, including our normal client service department to meet people's basic needs, and gets us all geared up for a whole another year of all the amazing things and fundraising and events. So we'll be sure to continue to share updates on our social media.
Thank you for reminding me. Cookies and Cocoa is 4 to 6 today at Freer Auto Body for Community Christmas. And this is a great opportunity to meet Santa Claus and bring in more toys for just a great cause. We got someone brought in $150 worth of toys upstairs. I was really excited for that. That's it's becoming my best toy year yet. I didn't do good on tickets this year, but I did well on toys.
There you go.
The yin to the yang. And Rachel, you were 40 under 40 this year.
I was.
Congratulations. Just one more time, wanted to say.
Thank you.
It's really cool and great recognition for you on RFM.
Yeah. I forgot that it happened this year. So much has happened. That was in 2025. But I really do appreciate the recognition.
We're going to take a quick break. Our spotlight on the North Alton Godfrey Business Council continues with persnickety. We're going to be talking all things about it right after this. RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow, isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, running down Santa Claus Lane. Blitzen, blitzen, all here's a reindeer pulling on the rein. Bells are ringing, children.
We're back. Spotlight on the North Alton Godfrey Business Council continues. Persnickety by Jen Farley. Rachel's in with Riverbend Family Ministries. Jen, Craft Beverage Festival. I only knew about this because Great Rivers and Routes was one of the wallpaper sponsors and was very proud to talk about your addition to the festival this year. That's fun.
It was. It was a lot of fun. This was my first year doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a flower bar in the shop. I offer fresh flowers weekly.
Wow.
You can purchase by the stem, or you can buy what's called a Posy Pass and prepay for your flowers.
That's cool. How does that work?
So if you buy a Posy Pass, they come in $50 increments, 50, 100, 150. So you prepay for your flowers for the month, and if you do a $50 Posy Pass, you get 10% off on all of your other persnickety purchases for the month. $100 pass, 15% off. 150, 20% off.
Wow.
So it's a good
That's
deal.
That's a great deal.
Yeah. So you get to come in, you can get fresh flowers weekly, all paid for.
How many flowers do you get, or what's that look like bundle wise?
Well, so
I'm so curious because this is such a cool thing.
Well, I'm trying to think.
Sorry,
about
I'm like this became a 60 Minutes interview.
Well, let me tell you.
Where were you last Saturday?
No, I would say most people on average probably spend $12 to $18 a week on their bouquets.
Yeah.
So
what a great deal.
You know, you can stop in before a dinner party or a birthday. Just grab something really fast. You can get flowers and a present, or you can just treat yourself with fresh flowers every week.
Absolutely. I think that's a great Christmas gift too. Can you do a yearly subscription to that if you wanted to for somebody?
I bet you could.
Okay.
I bet I could figure that out. Good. I bet I could figure that out.
Well, and we were talking, I think it's so important that, the public realizes how much work it is, number one, to not only operate a storefront, and you got to do all the labor and all the love that comes with it, but also being adaptive because, you have the weather and everything else to deal with. Right. And, a snow day might be fun for everyone else to say, okay, I get to go work from home for a day, but, you got to stay open.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
I'm not open today. I didn't want everyone to get out in the nasty roads because I didn't know how they were going to be, but...
Well, and that means tomorrow we got to get in there double,
That's right. Triple almost. Triple. We closed early yesterday. So.
Oh. Well, and now, what are your normal hours of operation?
So standard hours are normally Thursday through Sunday, 11 to 5, but during the month of December up till January 4th, we are going to be open every day from 11 to 5.
Perfect. And then what's the best way to see your catalog or some of the items in the stores? At your Facebook page?
Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook. I'm still in the process of trying to get a website put together. But
the catalogs are tricky.
Yeah, they're a little bit of a lot. But
a lot'll.
Yeah, a lot'll. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I do have a YouTube channel that haven't quite done anything with yet, but it's there. Or just, popping by the shop. That's really the best way to touch, feel, and see everything.
What are these ornaments?
Oh,
Can I show these?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, these are cool. Look at this. Hold on, let me go full screen. I like this.
Yeah, they're very fun. That's Elvis. The previous one was Frank Sinatra, Dolly Parton. I also have the Golden Girls.
That's cool.
Stevie Nicks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. And then I also carry ornaments that relate to Alton. So I have bald eagles. I have Abraham Lincoln. I have Mark Twain, Sacagawea. Oh, everybody loves Ozzy this year. So this company is really great. These are women artisan who make this.
Wow.
And the company that I get them from is Fair Trade certified. So they help these women in small remote villages get their products out to larger cities.
How cool.
Isn't that neat? Yeah.
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 That's awesome. And now, do you have a pretty large selection of those in the store?
I do. I had them last year. They were very popular. And then, I saw Ozzy and the Golden Girls this year, and I'm like, yep, we're doing this again.
Well, you can't have Martha Stewart without Snoop Dogg.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So what I think is even better is before we started the segment today, and you decorated so much inside the store, it's like, we still got to do the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this.
Haven't even touched the house yet. Kind of debating, do we even? I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot.
Well, whenever you're decorating the store, do you have fun with it though?
I did, and I was very fortunate. I had some friends come in and help me that were very, very talented. Catherine, who I have working in the shop, she's home from school. She's working Monday through Wednesdays.
That's beautiful.
She did the toppers.
Wow.
My other friend Becky came in and helped do the ornaments and do some pricing. And then my trees and stuff outside, Cece Torrey Designs. I told her my vision, and she was able to create it for me.
That's so cool. I love the color scheme in your store too. I just think it's so elegant too.
Thank you.
Look at that tree. That's another good looking tree right there.
Yeah,
I love the vintage topper too.
That's a fun one. So that tree in particular, it has all the C9 lights on it, and then it also has all of the shiny bright ornaments. So they're all vintage ornaments on that tree down to the tinsel.
I love it. What's the so when folks are looking this holiday season, take us through some of the product line and maybe some of the things that we can get for the loved one in our life that's one of a kind and persnickety.
Okay. So we I never know what I'm going to find. I like to say that my items find me, so I can help them find their owners.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say exactly what I'll have in the store at any given moment. I do currently have a beautiful, I would say, that's not quite vintage yet. I have a beautiful bar from our house. It's great big. It looks like a huge spotlight. So that would be a special piece for someone.
Uh-huh.
I have a Victorian bird cage that stands about 6 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
So those would be some of the bigger items on the
We
wish
get that right
list.
here.
Yeah. I do a lot of stained glass lamps. I don't make them. I source them, or I work with a company called Riverbend because I do tend to go through those a lot. Also, some of my more modern or current product lines, I carry Alexa Pulitzer stationery pieces, so notepads, gift cards, things of that nature. I've also worked with Eric and Eloise. They've been a little slow in their shipping. I know some people are still patiently waiting. It's a really cute little line where brass looking animals are dressed up as people. So there's a deer that hangs on the wall, and he's got a pipe and readers. There is a pheasant who has a top hat that hangs on the wall. I also have those in ornament form as well. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Stop by. I like this, Jen.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Well, you really do. And I like the ceramic tree that you're giving us a sneak peek on.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, yeah. I'll just throw it on the screen.
I'm like, which one?
This one.
Oh, yes. I found him yesterday.
That is really cool.
He is a big boy, and he is vintage, and he is fabulous.
Love it. That'll be on display soon. Rachel, final thoughts for RFM before I say goodbye for now?
Well, I actually just wanted to shout out Jen. When you were on your court expedition, she actually mentioned that she would select RFM as their nonprofit of the month. They give 5% of sales. So look at this collaboration happening in real time.
Yeah, every month I try to pick a local nonprofit, and I donate back 5% of my gross sales to that nonprofit. It's my way to kind of give back to the community because I love my hometown, and I'm glad to be here. So I'm excited to help you guys this month.
We're so grateful.
That's so cool. Yeah. How about that? If you want to be a member of the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, NAGBC.com, and we'll take a quick break and come back. Oh, no, we won't. Duh. I'm out of time. You guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you back here on Wednesday. Until then, try your best, as always, to stay out of jail.